everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Jenny Montgomery. A special group of patients can see a lot better now. They all needed surgery for cataracts. And thanks to one of the most subscribed individuals on YouTube, they're seeing clearly for the first time in years. Here's Will Gans with the story.
The gift of sight for not just one or two.
Yeah, I can see your face, I can see your face, I can see your face.
But 1,000 people getting free cataract removal.
Don't cry.
I can see everybody's facial features now. It's a little blurry with my tears coming out.
The surgery is paid for by Jimmy Donaldson, better known online as Mr. Beast.
They can't see, but we have all the technology to fix it.
Yep, half of all the blindness in the world is people who need a 10-minute surgery.
The most followed individual on YouTube, teaming up with ophthalmologist Jeff Levinson in Jacksonville, Florida. Dr. Levinson's Gift of Sight program provides free cataract surgery to uninsured patients who are legally blind due to cataracts.
Everything looks so more clear.
Yeah. To make this day even more special, since you're about to graduate high school and go to college, we wanted to give you $50,000 to put towards college.
Giving back has been important to Mr. Beast since he first started making money on YouTube.
I just got my first brand deal for $10,000. And I just gave it away. So I got it, and then I went outside and I gave it to a homeless person.
And with this latest stunt, Mr. Beast paying it forward across international borders.
Nearly half the population with curable blindness doesn't have access to this surgery. So I wanted to provide this to as many people as possible.
And now we're bringing it home. Let's talk about cataract treatment here in Augusta. Dr. Ryan Smith has been practicing ophthalmology for nearly 20 years. He joined the Eye Guys in 2012 after serving as the director of corneal and refractive services at a practice in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's been published in multiple peer-review ophthalmology journals and textbooks. And Dr. Smith is here with me right now. You know, we saw in that video, one of the things that the Beast does is mission trips in third world countries, and you do the same thing.
I do frequently, yeah. I try to do at least one a year, sometimes two. You know, I was in El Salvador earlier this year, and we're actually planning on going to Morocco here in a couple weeks, so we're excited about that.
Isn't it amazing when you can help somebody see?
Absolutely. You know, it's the leading cause of blindness in the world is cataracts. And the most fortunate thing about it is it's completely curable. It's fixable. So it's really heartwarming to go in there and actually perform a 10, 20-minute procedure depending on how dense the cataract is, and then forever and ever, they've gotten the gift of sight, and no one can take that away from them.
Okay, so did you hear what he just said? A 10 to 20-minute procedure. That is all that we're talking about? In terms of,
sometimes
I guess
sooner.
Treatments are different.
Yeah, and sometimes sooner. And so, of course, some of the milder cataracts, they can be as little as 5 minutes. And if it's on the denser variety, it may take a little bit longer, but it's not a long procedure at all.
Well, I feel like I'm jumping the gun here. Explain to us what a cataract is.
So cataracts are the way the eyes age naturally. It's actually the internal lens in your eye. And you get a lens when you're born, and you only get one, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
And so like many other parts of our body, as we age, it starts to wear out. And we were talking earlier that you actually start getting cataract symptoms, and people don't like to think about this because it makes them feel a little older than they, but they start getting cataract symptoms in their mid-40s. And those are the whole reading glasses things or bifocals.
So when we get the, our arms get too short or whatever,
Exactly. And that's all because of the aging of the natural lens of your eye. So when you're young, it's nice and flexible. You can see distance, near. You just put in that natural zoom and just focus on things up close. But then as you get older, it starts to stiffen up. It's not as good as it used to be. Now, you don't jump into cataract surgery when you're 45 years old, because you can throw a pair of reading glasses on, you got bifocals.
Or what about, is it like progressives too?
Progressives, okay, yeah. It helps you out a little bit. It's a little bit of a crutch.
It is. I mean, one thing for me is having to go from like a teleprompter and then maybe somebody comes in with a piece of paper I have to read, or I have to look at something on my phone.
Absolutely.
And it used to be nothing, but now it's like the fields, my eyes just don't adjust as fast.
Nope.
If I'm spending time doing Wordle, then suddenly I can't see what's out
Exactly.
there.
It'll take you 1 or 2 minutes when you're
Right.
sitting there. I'm looking at my phone, and then I want to change the channel, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't see it. But of course, a couple minutes goes by, and it starts to sharpen up again. But yeah, those are all normal aging of the natural lens. Now, as we continue to get older, that becomes more and more challenging. And then a lot of times, people will say, well, at what point do you have cataract surgery? And I would say, well, the timing for surgery is based on people's symptoms, and if they feel like glasses or contacts or bifocals or progressives are not working the way that they should have or they had in the past, well, then you move forward and go ahead and fix the problem, which is that natural lens. And again, this is something that everybody will go through eventually if they're blessed to live long enough, and it only has to be done once. So
you only have cataract surgery once?
Yep, one time, because you remove the natural lens of the eye. And so once that natural lens is removed, it won't regrow. You actually replace it with an artificial lens. So sometimes people will say, oh, I didn't know you put something in there. And I always make the analogy, it's like, well, just say you had your knee replaced. Yeah. And they said, the orthopedist, he's like, oh, well, I'll take your old knee out, but I forgot to put a new one in. Well, you're not going to walk very far. Same thing with lenses. If you take something out, you got to replace it with something that's nice and clear, but it is artificial. And because it's artificial, it's not going to age like our natural lens does. It will stay sharp for you.
Wow. And so the procedure is done at your office?
It's done at our office. It's done in a surgery center or an outpatient surgery center. So it is an operation, albeit a quick operation. And because we are going into the eye, you want it in the most sterile, environment possible. And so we do it in our outpatient surgical procedure.
And somebody will need to be able to drive you, I guess.
They'll drive you, yep, yep. We don't put people to sleep, but they're plenty relaxed. We give them a little bit of IV sedation. It's almost what they call conscious sedation. So it's funny because people can be somewhat aware of something that's going on, but if you ask them a question the next day, they're just like, I don't remember much. So it's really, it's a very comfortable, quick, and I guess as pleasant as can be, now, a procedure out there.
Is a cataract surgery, is it elective or does insurance contribute to it?
It's elective, and elective meaning, because sometimes people are confused with elective versus cosmetic. Elective just means it can be done at any time. It's not a life or death situation. So it is definitely elective because you can have your cataracts tomorrow or 5 months from now and your eye's still just as healthy. So as far as insurance coverages, I would say it's one of those hybrid things where insurances do cover cataract surgery. And so because it is a medical problem, it's interfering with your life, it's interfering with your vision, it's a disease, albeit a normal disease because it's age-related. And so insurances cover it. Now, when we're talking about modern cataract surgery, and you and I were talking earlier about your LASIK surgery, modern cataract surgery has exploded in the past 15 to 20 years, and it almost rivals LASIK surgery as far as getting people less dependent on glasses. So many times people who are electing to do cataract surgery, they'll say, well, if we're going to do this, let's take advantage of some of the modern technology so that you can not only make me see better, but make me see so well that I can become less dependent on glasses. And that's where laser cataract surgery comes into play. And we have all the toys at our office, we got them all. And so if you're a good candidate, and we're going to offer these things to them. And you can do a laser, you can correct your astigmatism, you can do sharp distance and use readers, or you can do both. You can get people out of reading glasses. Now, when you start getting into some of those products, they view that more as out-of-pocket expense.
Gotcha.
And more of a cosmetic thing, so to speak, even though it doesn't make you look any different.
Right.
Because, I guess Medicare would argue, they say, well, your eye's just as healthy whether you use reading glasses or not. So it's definitely a lifestyle enhancement. So again, they will cover a portion of your procedure, but there are some things that unfortunately we have no way around those just because it is a, we can ask them to pay for it, but they'll just send us the same letter. They'll say, no thanks.
We're familiar with those.
Yeah.
We're familiar with those. Well, this has been fascinating to talk about it and to just see how treatable this is.
Very treatable.
And thank you for your time. And here's the information you need to know about the eye guys. Eye Physicians and Surgeons of Augusta is located at 1330 Interstate Parkway, just off I-20 and Wheeler Road. The phone number is on your screen at 706-651-2020. You can check out their website at eyeguys.com or find them on Facebook at eyeguys.